Hey everybody, I wanted to make a quick video on top whorl versus bottom whorl spindles. Usually I teach on top whorl spindles, which look like this, and I have recently listed some in our shop which are bottom whorl spindles, which maybe you hadn't seen if you've been hanging out with us. So I wanted to do a short little video just showing both. So if you are a totally new spinner, basically this is a top whorl drop spindle and this is a bottom whorl drop spindle. Let me back up so you can see both. And as you can see, they look pretty much exactly the same, except that they are reversed. The top whorl drop spindle, you're gonna have the hook on the top, and then the whorl, this is the whorl, the part that spins, and the weight, and then there's the stick. And I don't know if there's an official term for the stick, but we're gonna call it the stick. We got the hook, the weight, and the stick for a top whorl drop spindle, and it's pretty easy to figure out because it literally just means the whorl is on the top. Your bottom whorl drop spindle is the opposite, where you're gonna have your hook on the top, then your stick, and then your weighted whorl is on the bottom. So you can see very similar, and honestly, if you laid them both with the weight right next to each other, even though this one's a little bit longer, they look very, very similar. You just have to look and see if the hook and the weight are on the same side or if the hook and the weight are on the opposite side. So same side, opposite side. So top whorl, bottom whorl, drop spindle. But then because you have the long stick on the bottom versus the whorl, you can stick that under your arm or if you're sitting like between your knees. And so it's kind of much more of a start, stop, and that's how I feel like most people learn, and definitely how I kind of teach, just so that you're thinking about it in sections of like, I'm getting the twist, now I'm doing the drafting, then I'm doing the loading, then I'm gonna get the twist, then I'm gonna do the drafting, then I'm gonna do the loading, and in between those steps, you can put it in between your knees or your arm, and that's usually very helpful for people starting out with spinning. So that is the benefits, I would say, of a top whorl drop spindle. Once you master, you kind of got it down on that, and I have videos on this too in my course, you'll get to where you're spinning, where instead of letting it spin and then sticking it under your arm, you can let it kind of spin and ignore the weight as it goes down towards the floor, and so then you're drafting here, and I'm short, so till it hits the floor, or you run out of length, and then you can wrap the yarn up on there. So once you get more comfortable with it, what I'm trying to say is most people end up taking out that step where you're parking it under your arm, so then it wouldn't necessarily be so necessary. So I guess I would think of this, if all you ever had was a top whorl spindle, that would be amazing for the rest of forever. So it's not talking down about them, but I would say that it would be kind of a good spinning with training wheels, to be able to easily put it under your arm while you're learning. So that would be the benefits of a top whorl drop spindle. So, benefits of a bottom whorl drop spindle, and this one is very cool. It looks like a glazed donut, and it has glitter and sparkles, and it was very decorative. This was made by my friend Ashley Martineau in her shop, and we have some of these in my shop on our website, and this is my example. Like I said, what got people asking me about bottom whorl drop spindles. Bottom whorl drop spindles can be really cool, one, because you can really decorate them, and you're really, while you're spinning, you'd see kind of both sides more. So I mean, just kind of decoratively, while the top of my other one is painted, it's gonna be more up here. So bottom whorls are fun just because you can decorate them more. You can also, the weight, I would say, and this might just be my personal opinion on this, with the weight being on the bottom, I feel like if you were doing more of the spinning where it was dropping down, like you were letting it spin down towards the floor versus, because see, the problem is you wouldn't want to stick that under your arm with the whorl down there. So that's why, or between your knees. With this, if you're spinning, standing up or sitting down and letting it just go down to the floor, I think having the weight on the bottom would probably give you a more secure spin going downwards. So that's why I was saying, once you kind of move past the park and draft method, you may enjoy having a bottom whorl drop spindle. And I mean, spindles aren't that expensive, so it's just kind of fun to have lots of different types and experiment with them. But this being a bottom whorl, and just for a more extreme, talking about having that weight. All right, well that was it. As promised, it was a short video. So if you are interested in spinning, drop spindles are a great place to start out before committing to getting a spinning wheel, or they're just kind of fun for portability. I know with me, I learned on a drop spindle, top whorl just like this, and then of course branched into having a bunch of wheels. But sometimes it's just fun, especially if you have some extra fancy fiber or you're going on vacation. You know, it can be fun. I have enjoyed spinning on a drop spindle more when I went back to it, when I was teaching other people to spin on a drop spindle, than I necessarily did. I kind of like blew past it when I started spinning because I was excited to get to the spinning wheel part. But then when I returned to drop spindling, I have to say, for fun side projects, you know, it's definitely, I think, enjoyable no matter what level of spinning yarn you are at. But it is definitely an, you know, affordable is what I was trying to say, an affordable way to get into seeing if you even like the basics of yarn spinning, which, I mean, who wouldn't? So, like I said, depending on when you see this video, I may still have, and they were all one of a kind, so they'll look different. I may still have some of these really cool, we were calling them like fantasy bottom whorl drop spindles on the website. We have had top whorls at different points, but because I don't personally make them, you know, we get them from wood makers and spindle makers. We may or may not have some top whorls in our shop. I always recommend Schneider Spindles, has a bunch of beautiful spindles all the time because that's their main gig. So I would say look up Schneider Spindles. I will try to put a link to them. I believe you can find, they have a website and they have an Etsy shop, I think. But I have met them at several fiber shows and they're super nice people, and I have a few of their spindles and I've never been sad about them. But if you're wanting to go check and see, depending on when I've gotten them from Ashley, we may have some more of these shiny ones. If you would like to learn more about drop spindling or spinning yarn in general, I have a million hours of free content on YouTube. So, you know, click on over and subscribe and like and all the things that helps get it out more to other people, because it helps boost the ranking for search topics. Or if you want to not have to deal with ads and YouTube and would like more step-by-step and homework and, you know, much more official, not just jumping around topics, I do have some super affordable drop spindle, spinning the basics, and then like a much more comprehensive like art. Yeah, I got all sorts of courses. So please go check out my website, and I will drop a link to that too. It's craftyhousewifeyarns.com/courses, and all the courses are there. And like I said, they are all very affordable, and there are many different options, and could be more depending on when you see this video, because you know, it lives on forever on YouTube. But like I said, my YouTube channel is a great place to start, and happy spinning.